Welcome back to the Iron Insight. Thank you for starting your week off right with the Iron Insight every Monday morning at 4 a.m. I'm Bryn Welds.
And I'm Andrew Nichols with Southern Leatherworks.
And today we're sitting down with Parker from PK Welding and Fab. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you guys this morning?
Pretty
Doing all right.
Pretty good. You're up in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, we're in central Wisconsin.
Do you have a climate-controlled shop or no?
Yes, we have heat and AC.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. You got both of them. That's right.
Oh, yeah. We do a lot of painting, so we have to control that heat and the humidity in the summer.
That's right. You were sending me a video of some paint you were or one of your guys was doing this week. Do you have employees?
Yeah, I got one. And then I got a high school kid that comes too.
Nice. So you're pretty far along. How long have you been running your business?
It'll be 4 years in March. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
Still new, but still I've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah. Is it more like custom fab or mass production, or what kind of work do you target?
So we do a lot of custom stuff, like what we do repairs too. I'm trying to work toward that manufacturing stuff though, making stuff and being able to sell it is what I'm trying to work towards to get away from the repair stuff.
Absolutely. I hate repair work. Man, I hate repair work.
And the stuff that we get in our location is farm equipment.
Yep.
I've done plenty of that, and I'm just over that stuff. But we do a lot of boats. Like one has issues with their transoms. So once that board gets wet, it heats holes in the aluminum in the back. So we go do all the body work, sand it all down. We weld the aluminum holes, do all the work, and then we put it's called Kusa board. It's a fiberglass composite in there. So that's what really kept me going at first, because my business insurance guy had a one, and I built pontoons before I went on my own. He's like, well, you built pontoons, you want to fix this boat? I said, well, the only thing they got in common is they float. You know, they're not the same, but I'm like, at that time, I'm like, I need the money. You know what I mean? I take anything I can take. You know what I mean? So it kept me going for a long time, and now we're trying to somewhat push away from that, obviously. Do more of that welding, keep the welding side going.
What kind of machines and equipment do you have?
What we have, well, let's start with, we have the Harbor Freight bandsaw, you know, that typical one that everyone pretty much starts out with. I have an Evolution saw, the miter saw, you know, not just the chop saw. We have a Langmuir 25-ton CNC press. We have 2 finger presses, finger brakes over here. We got the Chicago. We got another one back over there, and then we got a foot shear. So that's pretty much like the equipment besides welders. Obviously, we run a Everlast TIG, 325 power TIG, and then we got an ESOP Rebel 205.
Nice. Have you always been posting on social media? Obviously, you know, you got to have some kind of presence with your business, but has it picked up more so in the past maybe year or so?
Oh, yeah. I didn't really start doing like a TikTok thing. I was always on Facebook. You know, I got a decent amount of followers on there, nothing like, you know, a lot of them have. Just started Instagram probably 3 weeks ago, a month ago. Never been on Instagram in my life. But TikTok, I've been getting quite a bit more now that I've been more active on it, especially with like Chat and Matt from Welding Customs, you know, good people that I talk to. It has really gotten me out there to be able to talk to more people.
Right. Every time I join Chad's live, you're always on there.
Oh, yeah. I love Chad. Dude, his energy is insane.
How did you get connected with him?
Honestly, just from his live. I would comment on there, and, you know, we would talk back and forth, and then we had to message each other. Now we pretty much talk every day. He calls me almost every day, or I call him. Yeah, my favorite one when he was on your podcast was when he said, I'm severely ADHD, and you're like, no way.
Yeah.
That got me good there.
Everybody loved that clip. That was funny. I remember that got brought up at my family Thanksgiving, actually.
No way. Yep. It's true.
Yeah, he was like walking the shop floor the whole time we were filming.
Right.
Yeah, he's showing us everything. Like, it was great. It was awesome.
He called me after he did it with you guys, and he's like, dude, they were sitting in a chair. I didn't know what to do. So I was just walking. That's what you do all the time anyways.
Yep.
Yeah, if you ask a question in his live, I noticed this yesterday, like he'll start off with your answer, but he'll take it completely like out of left field somewhere. It'll get him onto a topic that you would have never expected.
Right. And that's his ADHD there kicking in. It's just
Yeah, he's great though.
Oh yeah.
You guys do a ton of giveaways, man.
Yeah.
What's the deal? What's up with that?
I just want to give back to the industry. That I love this industry and it's given me so much. It's my pride and joy besides my family. You know what I mean? Like this is what I do for fun. You know what I mean? It's not just a job for me anymore. You know, when I was younger, I used to be, I'm just gonna clock in. You know what I mean? Just do my work and that's it. You know, and now as I got older, to see everything that this industry has. You know, look at Chad's side compared to like Matt and Welding's custom, his side of the stuff. You know, there's such a variety of it, and that's what I enjoy because I started off with like stainless. Well, in high school I did just a steel shop, and then I did like stainless, and then I built pontoons. You know, I got that variety of it, and I love that I have more knowledge than just one, you know, industry side of it. You know,
right? What's your favorite project that you've ever worked on for your own business?
Favorite project? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, we did a canopy for a church, which is up Chad's alley over there. That was a fun one to do. Can't really think of the funnest one I've done though. But we do a lot of these. I don't know if you can see it over here. We do a lot of drop barrels. So my family's big into rodeo. Like my son rides, my daughter just started riding, and we make these drop barrels. These are probably the funnest things that I make right now.
Yeah, they are awesome. I've seen them. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, we try to do that nice paint on it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep them look good.
Yeah, your paint did look good when you sent it to me the other day.
Yeah, that's on that one right there. That gunmetal gray metallic.
Yeah.
And a lot of these colors actually we get from the Lund boats. To be honest, we buy like a quart at a time, and I just started getting stocked up on there. So we just pull that color from the boats and just use them on here, whatever they want. So it works pretty nice. I don't have to go. I mean, obviously I had to buy it at one point, but I don't have to go out and buy different colors. I have the majority of it here now.
How did you get started in the industry? Was it a family thing or just through that high school steel class?
I'm the first welder in the family, to be honest. And what it was is just high school shop class. You know, I took the welding class. They had like basic and then they had advanced. And they only had two options. And I took basic the freshman year, and every semester after that I took advanced. They didn't even catch on to like my senior year. They're like, how many times do you take this class? Every semester. They didn't even realize it. And I would do my work the first week for the whole quarter or semester or whatever, and then I just make stuff, projects. Make like I made this 6-foot shark my senior year, and you know I just do little art stuff like that just to get by in class and do stuff. And then I got a job at a shop. It was like what it was is like I sat in a booth deburring parts at first. You know what I mean? Where you start out, and then they put plugs in for you know. I started out there, and then I ran the robotic or the robotic welder. You know, so it just went from there. And then after high school, I got into like the stainless side of it. After I went to college for automotive. Worked in a couple automotive shops and said, "Yeah, that's not for me." Ruined my hobby and just went back to welding.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is that when you broke into your own welding business? Was after those automotive shops, or did you go back to a welding shop?
After it was, well, I went to school and then I was about probably 21 is probably when I went back to welding. 2021, and I did stuff on my own to a point. You know what I mean? Just side jobs, stuff like that. Like everyone does that. You know, I did that art stuff that I was doing in high school. I did like horseshoe stuff for people, whatever they wanted, but I didn't focus on my own until after I was working at the pontoon shop, built them, and I moved here, and we bought this place because it had this shop. And just one day I was like, I'm just done. You know what I mean? I just want to do my own thing. I literally took my 2 weeks vacation, and that's when I started doing all that extra stuff. You know what I mean? Getting ready to go on my own, and just did it. Just said, screw it. We bought the house 3 months before, and it probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. But I did. We bought a house three months before I quit my job.
How old are you now?
I'm 32.
32. You got
Yeah.
one employee and the high schooler for part-time help.
Yeah.
What was that like? Walk me through kind of your thought process on when you decided it was time for that first employee?
So in all honesty, I wasn't in the position necessarily to hire someone. But what it was is actually my old boss. He had a shop in my old town. He got stage 4 colon cancer and he couldn't work. So he reached out to me. He said, "Hey, I got this going on. I need a little extra money. Can I help you out? Or do you need help?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to take you anytime I can. You can't get that knowledge very often. You know what I mean? Of 30 years experience, and to have that chance, I knew I had to take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that very often. Especially I've worked with him before. We worked well together. So it was one of those things where the roles switched, and I could help him out, and he helps me out a lot more than I help him. But you know what I mean? Awesome. He's got that wisdom that you could take something which you don't have the equipment for, because I was new. You know, I didn't have all this equipment. I started out with a grinder, welder, and a cheaper bandsaw than that one. You know, but he had the knowledge of being able to do the stuff without that.
I guess, how has the evolution been to, like, when you know you're ready to bring something in-house that you were previously outsourcing? Like, do you have a plasma table or something like that?
No, we don't have a plasma table yet. I really want to get one. I think that's probably going to be our next purchase when we can. But a lot of the stuff, I mean, we don't outsource too much. Like, we don't get the stuff where you need specific holes. You know what I mean? Like, or designs in it. A lot of the stuff we'll get is like brackets. We done handrails, you know, stuff like that. I want to get a plasma table to be able to cut our own parts for like just the stuff that we make. We make like D-ring stake pockets. We make aluminum shelving, aluminum boat trailer steps, stuff like that. All little parts that we don't need that stuff yet, but I want to.
Right. I did see those trailer steps that you're selling on the TikTok shop. How has that been for you?
It's been all right. I mean, it's one of those things where I get those boat people, you know, I get those customers in here. That's why I started doing it. I can try to sell something else to them. You know what I mean? That's why I did that, because a lot of those boat fenders are plastic. And in our area, it's cold. You know, they crack all the time. They break. You know what I mean? So I try to get something that I can sell to them at a decent price to help out that'll last longer.
Yeah. What else did you have on there on the TikTok shop for sale? There was a couple.
I got some D-ring stake pockets, you know, for the trailers instead of the weld on, because a lot of the guys don't want to bring theirs to a shop to get it welded. You know what I mean? So the convenience of being able to take them off and put them in the stake pockets is nice. I got some wall shelving, aluminum wall shelving that we sell. We have Clean Biles. There's a Power Center hardware store. They sell our stuff there too. So that's pretty much our biggest part, is trying to get it out there to like stores to sell, because I don't have the following like on TikTok and whatever that
right.
You do.
And is that what you were saying? Like, you're trying to get into some of that work where you manufacture it for people to buy it later, not so much a custom order.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get into, and it's obviously a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to get into stuff. You got to find that right product that people need. Well, not necessarily. They need and they want. You know, it's this world. It's like they buy stuff that they want, that they don't always need. And I found that if they need it, they don't want to really pay the price because they're in need, they're hurting money or whatever. But they'll spend their money on stuff that they don't necessarily need. You know, power or toys, side by side, stuff like that. People always spend money on that kind of stuff. You know. So it's just finding the right niche of what to make.
Fuck, I can't remember what I was going to ask. I had a good question to follow that, damn it. Oh, yeah. So you went to automotive school. Did you pick up an associate's degree in that, or was that like more so just a certification for a trade school?
It's a certificate. I went to the Universal Technical Institute.
Okay. Yep.
That's where I went to school for. You know, he had that rep that came in high school and talked me into it. No, I loved working on cars, but it just ruined. Didn't want to do it all the time, especially here. The winter sucks doing it, sitting under a lift getting wet, the snow dripping off of you or off the car onto you. Just wasn't my thing. I'd rather just work it. Like I said, I always loved it.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, we don't have any snow on the ground yet, but how much you got up there?
We got, well, it was like 40 degrees the other day, so a lot of it melted. But I think that last storm we got about probably 10 inches, 6 to 10 inches.
Cool.
Is there a UTI up there in Wisconsin?
No, Chicago's the closest one.
Is that where you went?
Yep. I lived there for about a year and a half.
Damn. I shot an advertisement for UTI once in like 2021, I think.
Yeah, it's a good school. I learned a lot. Like I said, I don't think it's a waste of time because I can fix my own stuff. You know what I mean? I
Right.
have the knowledge, more knowledge than what I did to do my own stuff anyways then.
Yeah. So you've got what did you say, 305, PowerTig 305 or
The 325.
325?
Yeah.
Okay. How you liking that?
Oh, I love it. I got it down there. I actually found it on Facebook. It was a package deal for this one. And it's an older one. It's not, it's not newer. And I got their plasma cutter, got it up on the wall there. And then it came with a MIG. Was a Power MIG 250, I think it was. It was an older one. And I ended up selling that one, but I love that 325. That's what I'll do, jump on before that that ESUB now, just because it came with a water cooler. That was the
Right.
biggest.
Oh yeah.
The water cooler is huge.
Yep.
Yeah, the PowerTig line is like just the PowerTig line is just like trusted, like tested, true. But now there's the Typhoon lineup. Have you seen much of the Typhoon?
I want one. I was looking. What is it? The 330, something like that.
Yeah, there's 230, 330, and 500.
Yeah, I want that 330. I really do. I was actually just contemplating selling my ESOB to get the 353 Power MIG. I saw one on Marketplace with like 10 hours on it, and it came with 2 MIG guns, one set up for aluminum and one set up for steel, and that's the main reason why I want it, because I mean, I got a spool gun for the ESOB. Spool guns are spool guns, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
until you get into push-pull guns, that's where it's at.
Right. Yeah, I have the 253 MIG.
Do you?
Yeah, well, it was like one of the first 3. So the power set function, the whole reason I got it was to troubleshoot, and yeah, the power set function does not work. But that's mainly like a thing for, it's where you put in your material thickness, your gas, your wire thickness, and then they can it'll give you a range. But so I don't really use it much anyways, but it is nice. The double pulse is really nice on it.
Yeah, that's the main reason why, because we do a lot of aluminum. We're working on, well, we got a cart in there, but we've done for this company out of the cities. It's a food truck company, and they're working on this deal with these electric cart companies, and we built their aluminum box for it, and then they do all the install stuff. There was like a kegerator in there, then there was like ice cream and a slushy machine. You know what I mean? And it was just a little electric cart that would go to stadiums and college campuses to sell their stuff. So we made their aluminum frame and the frame and the doors, everything on that. So with that, that's why I want the full MIG instead of just a spool gun, because we tagged everything on that. And that's time consuming. Do I enjoy it more? Yes, but the customer necessarily doesn't want to pay the extra price for TIG. So
Yeah, they usually don't.
And I asked him straight out, do you want nicer looking welds, pretty dimes, and they don't care. They just want it to look good and hold pretty much, you know what I mean? So I want to get that for that reason, for like the framework, to be able to bust out framework faster, and then anything visual you can do TIG,
Right. So you're not that far from Chicago. Do you know what FabTech is?
I do, and I'm mad at myself I didn't go the past 3 years. Mad. I was really going to go this year, and I don't remember what came up, but it's probably because my son rodeos. In the summer, we're hitting rodeos nonstop. Like, we went 5 in 1 week, and it's not all in the same spot, so we travel a lot. And that's probably why I didn't do it, to be honest. But I really want to. Next year's in Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to Vegas again, though.
Andrew will have a booth at this next one.
Well,
Yeah, we're hoping to have a booth at Las Vegas. Yep, we'll see. So still in the works now, but
yeah, I need to get one of your hoods though. I was gonna order one here soon.
yeah, you can reach out to me. Let me know. I'll get you set up.
Yeah, I want a hood. I got a sugar scoop right now, but I think I want to chop like Jackson or something like that.
Yeah, those Jacksons. I mean, that's all I use when I'm welding now. I don't use anything else.
I got that Jackson for the giveaway back here, and I sit there and look at it, and I'm like, yep, I want one.
Yep, they're nice. They're very nice.
Andrew has always, I think you've always worn a Jackson.
Oh yeah, Jackson's always been my hood.
Was it?
I had a True Sight 2. It was like the first welding hood I ever got. I got it for Christmas, and that's all I've ever pretty much used as a shop hood. I've built my own Tiger hoods and whatnot, but Jackson has always been my favorite.
Yeah, I used to run like a Miller back in the day, the thick shade when I did stainless. And then when I got out of that stainless, I was running. I got a couple ESOBs, Sentinels or whatever. Got a couple of them.
Yeah.
They're nice. It's just not. They're too big for me.
Yeah.
They are, but they're nice hoods for what they are, though. You know, if you're working in a shop, setting, they'll be fine.
I saw you. I don't know if you've built multiple or it was just the one of those steel reception desks with the lights on them.
Yeah, that's just that one. So the situation with that is I have a company that wants one, and instead of they didn't really have an idea. So I'm like, well, my reception desk was a bar I built that I had in my house before. I'm like, well, I could put the bar back in my basement, and I'm gonna build one. So they want like an industrial style, you know what I mean? It's not completely finished yet. There's some aesthetic stuff that I want to order and put on. But yeah, there is one for a customer that we're going to be doing here sometime soon. Get an idea. I just want to get somewhat of an idea for something and show them what they want. They wanted an industrial theme kind of thing. So we ran those dim yellow lights across it, and
yeah, it looked good.
Yeah, you finish off that top, get the sheeting I had mill scale, so I did the surface prepper down to get a nice finish on it.
Yeah, you built it quick as hell.
Yeah, I did. It didn't take too long. I think I probably, in all honesty, maybe had 5-6 hours in it. Maybe. It sat there for a few days just because of other projects, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it first, but once I actually built, I didn't have much time into it, to be honest.
Right. What do you think has been your most challenging part throughout your business so far to get nailed?
Consistency of work is always the issue. We go for times that, just recently, we were super busy for months, and then we started getting the jobs out, you know what I mean? And you see them go out the parking lot, keep going, and then you get down to the last one, and it's like, man, I haven't heard of anything, besides some little stuff that comes in here and there, nothing that bigger stuff to keep things going. So that's the hardest thing, I think, is trying to keep that flow always coming. And the biggest thing is I'm in the shop doing the work too. You know what I mean? I can't sit in the office all day and try to reach out and get more stuff and advertise, you know what I mean, consistently like I should be doing. And that's the hardest part, is finding time to do both of them, to get work done and try to get more work coming in.
Are you near any big cities in Wisconsin?
What do you consider a big city? I mean, for us, Wausau is maybe hour away, 20,000, 30,000 maybe. Eau Claire is maybe 40, 50,000. But if you're talking
so you're in small town area for sure.
Yeah. Madison is 3 hours away from me. I would say the biggest town. That'd be that size of town, you know what I mean? Yeah, there isn't much around here. I think we got a town.
Even Green Bay is pretty small.
Green Bay, I want to say 80,000 maybe.
That's pretty small for an NFL team.
Oh yeah. The best part about that, you ever see where it's located? It's there's no skyscrapers. It's in literally housing around it. Yeah, it's awesome. We have season tickets for Packer games.
That's kind of like how it was. I went to a Nebraska Cornhuskers game in Ireland, and you walk right out of this stadium, which it was a soccer stadium before, and you walk right outside of it, and there's just houses all over.
Yeah, it's nuts, and they rent off their yard for parking there, so people are making $30 a vehicle. There was a guy that lived about my son's teacher's friend, and we would park there. He would, in an average year, he said he'd make about 70,000, 80,000.
Holy shit!
He didn't have a big yard. It's that typical yard in a town, and he had a drive-through garage. So he had 2 garage doors, and he'd fill up his backyard and stuff, and then he would have a bar inside his garage that he would sell stuff or whatever, sell tips. But it's awesome. The way they have it set up, it's a different environment. It really is. But making $70K on parking and to have a good time while you're doing it on Sundays.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Right? Yeah, it's nuts.
He's probably paying more than his mortgage.
He said he was paying that would literally cover his mortgage plus some. He just, that's why he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
he didn't really have to. I mean, all that his full-time job is extra money then.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we got about 30 minutes of good footage. Here's one thing we ask each guest before we end each episode. What is your favorite genre of music to listen to while you work or weld?
Gotta go with the 90s rock alternatives.
He's rock.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like a lot of Nirvana. I like Third Eye Blind, stuff like that. That era is my ideal. I got called old at my last job because of my music. But now we know how old I'm not even old. I was like 28 at the time. 27. I'm not even old. But yeah, that's my go-to usually.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate your time. To all the listeners, we'll have Parker's links in the show notes, his website, his TikTok, Instagram as well. Hopefully that gets him to start posting some more on there. My Everlast link for the upgraded Nova torch and foot pedal free of additional charge will be in the show notes as well. Any TIG-capable machine ordered will come with that package automatically. Edge Welding Cups link and Bokamol FR code BRYN, BRYN, for $3 off every $30 spent. Thank you. And Andrew?
And you can check out sunleatherworks.net for any and all of your custom welding hood needs, from square jacksons to tiger hoods to sugar scoops. We got it all, as well as belts and glove lanyards. Mr. Parker with PK Welding, we appreciate you coming on, taking the time this morning. We look forward to seeing maybe an update at FabTech in Las Vegas.
I appreciate you guys. I'm hoping to be there.
Yeah, well, hopefully